Awesome. We are live on Facebook. Good afternoon. I'm Beth Copeland with Georgia Christian Business Network, and we are putting God back in business. Today is Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's Take Charge Tuesday Business Power Call. I am so excited today because we have the nonprofit guru in the house. Yes, Henrietta Acolatse is on the GCBN platform today. If you haven't already grabbed your pencil and your pen or whatever and some note paper, it's so important that you do so, because what she's going to help us with is how to start your business right. If you're already started your business, she's going to give you some opportunities to do some process check to make sure that you're operating right in accordance to the way God would have you to operate your business according to the law of the land. So thank you for joining us. What I'd like to say prior to allowing Henrietta to introduce herself to you, because we've already promoted her on paper, told you about her credentials, who she is, what she does, and why it's important for you to know. But now in just a second, I'm going to have her actually introduce herself to share more about who she is from her heart. But right now, what I want to remind you of, this is the year of the double. We're decreeing and declaring at Georgia Christian Business Network that God will bring forth a double in every aspect of our lives, whether it's personally or professionally. God wants to open double doors unto you. We're sending out our newsletter this afternoon. I meant to send it this morning and release it this morning, but it definitely will be released after the show. And I want you to make sure that you find a copy, time to read a copy of it, because it's important that you understand that this is the middle of the road. And I'm glad Henrietta is here today with us so that we can do a process check. Have you started to experience the double in your life? What's missing? And I believe you're going to start to recognize from her presentation today some missing keys to propel you forward or to allow you an opportunity to experience the double if you haven't already. Okay, thanks so much. Henrietta, tell us about you. Who are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. And thank you for being a valuable GCBN member.
Well, thank you, Beth, and greetings to everyone here and outside of the GCBN network. Thank you for having me again. I love being here, and I am glad to be here today and any day. I'm always welcome. I'm always open to coming on GCBN. So as Beth has told you all, I'm Henrietta Acolatse, originally from Liberia and Sierra Leone, West Africa. Started this journey when I was 19. And I've loved it since. I started off as just doing nonprofit, but then I had to expand myself. I had to learn that a lot of these applications is all about reading and understanding. If you can understand one entity, which is nonprofit, where I mastered, you can understand for-profit and S corps and C corps and LLCs and so forth. So we're here.
Awesome.
Yes, and through my busy time, I have 4 kids, a husband, a dog. And so through all of that, I also run my own nonprofit where I actually help the community at large, whether it's the refugee community or the underserved community here in Gwinnett County. We also ship needed materials and necessities to Liberia, West Africa, and other countries that ask for aid as well.
Awesome.
That's what we do in our busy time.
I'm so, and it's amazing how you're able to accomplish all of that. And I love that not only do you help abroad, but you understand the importance of helping right here at home. And you do so much, Henrietta. And I just want to say thank you. I don't even know how your body contains your heart, because you have such a huge heart for serving God's people. And so thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for all you do to help others win in business and in life. And that's why I'm really blessed and fortunate that you're a member of Georgia Christian Business Network. Well, from your title, you said you want to help business owners to operate their business right from the start. Perhaps they're already in the midst of operating the business. So this will be a process check and an opportunity for correction where needed or to fine tune some things. Would you just start sharing with us and just what God has given you for us today?
Well, Beth, I just want to say the importance of business. And I'm very glad for those who have taken the step and those who are thinking of taking the step and those who are trying to take the step. Business is extremely important. You know, we work all of our lives and we're working for a business. And at some point in time, somebody was in the same position that we're in. At some point in time, Walmart, Sam's Club, Amazon, all of these people were in the same position that we're in. We may not have been as equally in the same position, but we were all in that thinking stage. And that's what's important, to know that you want to do something, to know that you can do it because you know what you know. So to be able to know that and to be able to sit there and say, I'm going to do it, that's
Awesome.
an amazing step. Where that's a lot of people cannot even get over that hurdle. And so once you get over that hurdle, now we start looking for people. And you know what? I'll tell you the truth. People actually start calling me when they're even in that first hurdle. They're thinking, they're thinking, I have this skill, but how do I use it? And I'm like, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if I had that skill, this is how I would use it. And I'm always thinking on the line of business. So whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit. So when you tell me that you have the skill of, you love dogs, and I'll say, well, you know what? You can be a dog trainer or a dog caregiver. That's a business that people run, You can tell me anything you tell me, I'll sit there and think about how to make it a business. Because I think that owning your own business is extremely important for your future, for your children's future, and for that repetitive income. So if you ever want to get off of that.
And I love it how, and that's the coach in you, I know. But you know business so well, you're looking for key words. I was kind of semi-coaching someone that I ran into last week, just at the hair salon, and she was saying, well, I enjoy this and I enjoy this. And I was asking her different questions about what she enjoyed. And she was telling me some of those things. And as I listened to her, I said to her, where your passion is, that's where you're probably needing to operate in your business, because your passion is urgent and important. For you to be able to be successful in business, you need to have a passion for what you do. And so she started thinking of different things that she was passionate about pertaining to the thing and how she could make money. And she would benefit from a call with you. And people need to understand that you can get so much and glean from just hearing a coach that's a nonprofit guru, a business guru coach that has a wealth of business acumen to help them to be able to position and to flush out that vision.
Absolutely. You're right. You do need to flush that vision out, because if you don't, it's going to eat you up inside. It's going to tear you alive until you do it. And if you don't, you're going to die with a lot of regrets, that why didn't I? Or you're going to grow old with a lot of regrets. And why didn't I? I could have, and I didn't. And it goes away. And so we have little people, whether it's our children or our nieces and nephews, or whether it's the community, they're watching us and they want to see they're wow, she did this and he did that. They're watching us. God's people are doing more than just going to church and clapping and singing and worshiping. We are building, because that's what we're supposed to be, kingdom builders.
Wow. And I love that, because one of the things that is often shied away from in Christendom is wealth, is to talk about it. And we need to get free and understand that God has given us the power to get wealth. Remember the Lord their God, for it is he who has given you the power to get wealth. That's Deuteronomy 8:18. And that is one of our founding verses for Georgia Christian Business Network. I have a question. Why would he give us power to get wealth and not intend for us to be wealthy?
Correct. That's why we need to utilize what we have. And the first place that starts is in our mind and in our heart. You said it correctly when you said, do what the passion is, do what you love. You said it, and that's what people need to do. We are perfectionists at what we know and love. Those who can fix hair. I can't.
Not my calling. Not my
calling. But you give me pen and paper, and that's my calling. I can write from here to Jerusalem,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But then people get discouraged, Beth, because they don't know what to do. They have all of these ideas and all of this passion, and they're ready. But where do they start? Where do they start? And the problem is most of us don't know where to start. And that's why, and it's not just that, it's that they also don't know who to start with. So there's a lot of people that'll start you from in the middle. There's a lot of people that start you from in the back because they know what they know. And that's what they know. But it's important to be able to start from the beginning. Whether you start in the middle or the end, it's important to have those beginning documents. The paperwork filing is extremely important. And knowing the difference between the entities that you must file with is also important. And that is different for every different kind of business. I could be running a hair salon. I don't need a liquor license. I could be running a daycare, and I'm not serving hot food. I don't need a food license, and so forth and so forth. For every entity, the criteria is going to be different. So it's important to know the steps that you need to take. It's important to know the paperwork that needs to be filed. It's important to know that there's a difference between the state, there's a difference between the county, there's a difference between the city. There's a difference between the federal government. Those are four different governmental entities that most likely, whatever you're doing, you're going to have to file something with each of those. And this is not for all businesses, but this is for a good amount of businesses. And you're going to have to know that the IRS is going to want you to file certain documents. Whatever state you're in is going to want you to file certain documents, or province, whatever county you're in, and whatever city you're in, and so forth. You're going to need to file all of those different documents with those particular government entities, because they each have their own way of doing it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's not uniform. They're not saying, oh, file this with the IRS because you're going to need this with the state. No. You're going to need to know what you need to do with each of those entities, because the state may have you file something that may not even align with the federal government. You may have to file an injunction in between it that's going to connect the two. And I know it sounds like German Russian, unless you know German and Russian, but it's honestly it's easier than you think. It's just a matter of getting all your ducks in a row before starting.
But you said it's easier than you think, and it is. But you have to have an understanding, and you've got to glean that. I know you can go to Google and you can look up a bunch of stuff there, but what I recommend, and I'm not trying to push coaching for me in particular, because I don't necessarily coach anywhere near. In fact, I'm not doing it right now. In fact, when I get requests for clients, I'm pushing it out just because of my time right now. But I highly recommend, if you're starting a business, to connect with a business coach, because it's so important. Because I know Henrietta said it's easier than what you think, but sometimes just that initial investment will do yourself a great service for starting your business, so that you can understand and start to glean. Because after I talked to a few people when I started, and even now for coaching, a coach needs a coach. Like Pamela Bartel says, a counselor needs a counselor. Okay, so don't shortchange yourself by saying, oh, I can do myself. I'm not going to pay somebody to do that. I've had people over and over again start off with that mentality and end up having to go back and do some rework. So I just want to chime in there. Yeah.
No, that's great, because that goes into something that I do want to talk about: business struggles. And this ties into the paperwork as well, because a lot of times people will come to me as a consultant or a business coach consultant. They're all within the same. Beth, I will guide them. I'll tell them everything, and then they'll start telling me what they read on Google. And I tell them this: look, My 8-year-old can go on Google and change that information if he wants to. Anybody can change things on Google. Anybody can post things on Google. It's not Bible when it's on Google. It's not. You don't know who posted it. You don't know what their struggle was. And guess what? Whatever you find on Google could be completely right. It could be. However, it could also be completely wrong. So when you're dealing with a coach or consultant, and you're going to them with confidence to lead you the right way, do not start doubting it because of what you read on Google. Okay. You can start, you can let them know what you read, and they will let you know, but be careful. Some people really seriously take in what they read on Google. I have met many people like that, where, well, this is what I read, and I'm not sure if you know what you're talking about. And I'm looking at them like, okay, there's nothing much that I can say. I say, that's fine.
as if Google is the gospel. People don't know. They trust. It's amazing to me how people trust an unknown rather than a known. An unproven rather than a proven. And it is so sad for me, because I'm sitting here, and part of the struggle, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this is we got the polo ain't got no more mentality. And we want something for free. That's what it is. And so if I can justify that Google has more knowledge than you do, then I'll just be able to go over here at Google. But where's Google gonna be to support you when you get in that situation where you can't discover Google and you need somebody face to face to talk with? And so that's some things that are not wise for business owners to start off with. You were talking about documentation, and we're going to have to get your contact information updated too, so that we can start to post that over there. How do we connect with you for coaching and things like that, so Bianca can post that on the other side as well? That's going to be important, because I believe that if people think, I say there's no such thing as a one and done. However, if you just want to have a conversation and you want to do a one and done, there's opportunity to pay an hourly rate. You have opportunities where you also work with people, and we're going to talk about it in just a little bit, through workshops. And I know you and I have partnered in times past to do a DIY, do it yourself seminar, and for those that were interested in nonprofit filing. And there's so much information that they could do on their own through your coaching, and then you take it from there and do the final piece on it, which reduces the cost, because it is costly. It is some upfront charges to going into business, and you need to understand that to operate a business successfully, you have to invest in that business.
Yes. I think it's very important that if you invest in your business, obviously you're investing in yourself because it's your business. But if you don't take that step, you do end up taking 1,000 steps backwards. And that's very hard, and it's very discouraging when you do think that you're making progress, but at some point you're going to hit a wall, and you're going to realize, I did not do this, that, and so now you're at the product. Let's say you're selling something in retail. Now you're at the product stage, but you do not have the proper licenses, and the state comes knocking on your door. Excuse me. Do you have any right selling, reselling? Do you have where's your reseller license, or where's your documentation showing that you're a business within this state? Where's your documentation saying that you can operate in this city?
Right.
You have to put the close sign on your door and go back to square one. And by the time you reopen, maybe the fashion has changed, or maybe you have a new competitor who was way ahead of you, and so forth. One of the things that is very important, and a lot of people hear it, but they don't know the importance of it, is trademarking and patent. These are things that I do as well. But the reason why it's so important is because if you don't trademark and patent, you can go through all of the proper measures, all the proper steps, and you can be doing your thing. If you don't trademark and patent, you could have made this huge brand, and somebody comes right behind you and just snatch it because they decide to trademark and patent your
Wow.
name,
What
your idea, because
your
you did not do
idea.
it. And then you have to go buy it from them. Imagine that. It happens so
So
often.
unfortunate, so terribly
It's very
unfortunate.
unfortunate. And just what you
True,
said,
but true. And
it
and
is true.
still happening. As much information that's out there today, even on Google, there's still yet happening. And it's
Right.
because we're not knowledgeable and we're not following through the way that we should. Awesome, for sure. Okay, one thing that I wanted to comment on is 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order. And we are talking, and our whole vision at GCBN is putting God back in business. And we want to represent him well. And the way that we do that is being decent and in order, obeying the laws of the land, making certain that we have an opportunity where we need to get our business and affairs in order according to what is dictated by the law, so that we don't have the opportunities that Henrietta are referring to, that we can have this witty invention that God has given us. And unfortunately, someone comes behind, replicate it, or, you know, after you created it, and you lose it because you don't have the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Okay. What else you have for us, Henrietta?
So I wanted to really go into my struggles, what I faced,
Okay.
because I may be saying all these wonderful things, but I also went into these struggles as well. So I started when I was 19 in Alabama, and then I was transferred. I was working under a company, and then he said, you know what? It's time that you guys start your own company. Do you know? With he helped us so that we can do all that, and I said, this is great. You know what? I have a network. I'm from West Africa. I know a lot of people. A lot of people know. I go to a church, and I jumped in. What was my mistake? I never learned marketing. I thought I could rely on people that I knew. And that's wonderful. Some people can, but you know what? When you're trying to really truly build a viable business, you need that marketing skill, those marketing skills. That is so important. I'm still struggling with marketing today because I voided out the marketing. So what did I learn I learned all of the things that I did not do, Beth. And I said, you know what? I don't want anybody else making these mistakes. I have a list of things that I tell people, you have to do this. Oh, I said, look, I know you can do it, but what is your plan? So I sit down with people, okay, you can do it. Okay, you know this, you know that. What is the plan? So then I let them give me their spill. It either sounds good or it sounds like it needs some work, some patching. And so, my struggles really hurt me and it set me back a lot. And not thinking that I needed an actual physical office back then. Now, if back then was like today, it'd probably be a different story. But back then it was not like today, because again, I thought I could rely on this big network of people that I had access to. But again, those people did not want access to me because they did not believe. They did not believe, So instead of me going out into the world of those who really needed my service, I hindered myself by staying where I was, which was not a good thing for my business.
And you've said a lot there that I just want to unpack a little bit of what you said, because you brought to mind Habakkuk 2, because you said the vision, you have this vision, but what's your plan? What's your strategy? How are you gonna do this high level vision? And I love Habakkuk 2 says that 2:2, it says, then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, it shall not lie. And though it tarries, wait for it, for surely it will come. It will not tarry. And sometimes we get the cart before the horse, if you will. Old saying,
Yes.
but you'll get it if you don't, And we want to produce the end product prior to traveling the road that is necessary to create a good product that's going to sustain in our business. And
Yes.
we already see the vision. And I think it's important that you see the vision so you can work towards the vision. The challenge is not getting ahead of where you're trying to go and
Correct.
bypassing and taking shortcuts is what I'm hearing. Even sometimes that we've talked about things in the past of how people want to circumvent the process, thinking it's less painful, but yet at the same time, it's going to be more painful if you don't dot those I's and cross those T's as you go along. Would you agree?
I definitely, absolutely, it'll be more painful. Extremely painful because it could cost you everything. It may cost
Yeah.
you a little fraction, but it could cost you everything, and that's
Yeah.
what people don't understand. Another struggle that I really struggled with, Beth, is thinking that I could pull people in with me. I have this
Uh-huh.
wonderful vision. I have this wonderful dream. Come with me, come with me. And then I had to realize, I had to learn, it's your dream, Henrietta. They love you, but it's your dream. It's not their dream. And so unfortunately, what ends up happening with partnerships, collaborations, it can help you sink the boat. It can help you build the boat too. It can help you float fine and sail across the ocean, but it can help you sink the
Wow.
boat. I learned that the hard way. And it messes up relationships.
Henrietta, you're talking about something they need to learn early.
Yes.
Everybody didn't hear the vision. Everybody can't understand the
Yeah.
vision. Everybody can't interpret the vision, and everybody don't want you to win in your vision. Listen, I told you it's the year of the double, and we have this acronym that we believe that God just gave to me in a download. That six characteristics that are essential for embracing the double and experiencing it in every aspect of our lives. And it's through an acronym for double: decidedly disciplined, optimally obedient, uniquely unified. And that's the one I want to speak to in a second: boldly believing, limitlessly loving, and excellently executing. But I want to go back to uniquely unified. Everybody is not your BFF, your best friend
Right.
for life, And what we have to understand, everybody can't go where God is taking you. Listen, God does have a plan and you're a part of it. And you want everybody to go, but you can't want something more for someone than they want it for themselves. And the thing that you need to do is go ahead and work the vision God has given for you to do. And then you can pull them through by exemplifying and showing the way. But
Yeah.
there are people that are assigned to you. But I think it's just norm. I hear it a lot, Henrietta, that people assume because you stepped in business that your family, that your best friends are going to go, yay, I'm here for you. I'm going all the way with you. Not. Now, I am at a level now that the circle that I operate in, that I could tap on when I started the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs role as the Atlanta chapter director. I tapped into some folk that I knew, but they were on a different level. These people were next level experience, some heavy hitters that I had developed relationships on this level with, that had an understanding of business and how to support and how to give back. And I could tap into them and they were like, hey, sign me up, just like that.
Wow.
Yet you have to have people that have grown to that point.
Yes. That is very important. If they have not grown to that part, Beth, they will sink you down. And listen, and then we'll go back to square one. Okay. And guess what square one is? That confidence that you have to build within yourself. So, and when they're sinking you down, they're taking your confidence with you, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any friends. And people feel like they need, and there's nothing wrong with that, but people feel like they need that other person, their bestie, their mom, their sister, their this person, before they can take a step. And it's just not how it is.
But
What we
because
need,
God wants us to rely on him. He shall supply
yes,
our
he
every
showed us the
need.
vision. He gave us the
Right,
vision. He made us
right,
understand the vision. So that's what we
yeah,
should rely on.
right, right. And the opportunity is he's the one that gave us the vision. He's the one to make provision. You know,
Yes,
I don't
yes,
even own making it work. God owns making it work. Mine is to receive the vision, to steward the vision, you know, to work the vision, be his vessel, his hands and feet, if you will. But his is to supply the every need. He
yes,
has people that are assigned to you. That's what I like about Uniquely Unified is God has people that are assigned to you. And when we walk to receive the double, what we have to do is align with those people that are assigned to us. They may not be your best friend that you thought you could be, your BFF for life. You know, they may not be that person that you've supplied things for, that you've been there to support them. It may be God has someone that is assigned to you. If you go into another level, they're already on another level. And he's just
yes,
waiting for us to get released from this level and saying, you know what? This isn't for me. I'm getting off this bus. And then when you go to get on the next bus, I get on a double decker, you know. So God's ready to bring you into that wealthy place. And you said it starts where?
in your
In
mind.
in the mind. That's what you said. It's so funny you said that. I just spoke on Saturday at where was I Saturday? In the midst of all my baby daycare, glamour daycare. I'm trying to figure, oh, the gift center, Larissa Jean. I
Okay.
spoke at her graduation for the gift center academy, and I told them her theme was the wealthiest place. And I asked God, where is the wealthiest place? And he said, in your mind. And then you
Yeah.
come talking about, you know, wealth and how it starts in your mind. I'm like, God, you just keep on with that, just affirming and confirming his word,
Yes.
that how we think determines what we receive.
Yes.
As a
And
man thinketh,
I'm glad that you started talking about wealth, because that was actually my next bullet point. You know, running business and
ah,
not having and the funds to run it. You know, whether you're
uh-huh,
running a for-profit or nonprofit, there's money out there, you know. And so when we start talking about wealth in the mind, that's one wealth. Now we're talking about wealth in our account to do what we need to do.
okay, right,
So
right,
that wealth is a different, you know, there are so many different opportunities out there for funding for your business. Is it easy to get? Some. Most, no, but some are. Whether it's easy or not easy, is it worth getting it? Yes, absolutely. Is it worth trying to get it? Absolutely. When you are, let's just say, a woman of color, whether it's Black, Hispanic, Latino, whatever it may be, there's funding out there for you to start your business. There are a lot of companies now that are trying to support BIPOC women, which are women of color, Black, I think Italian. Don't let me don't
okay,
let me, I don't know the acronyms for it, but BIPOC is what is considered.
okay,
Um,
okay,
and it's and women of color, whether you're
uh-huh,
African, European, or whatever, but you're considered a woman of
uh-huh,
color. And so there's a lot of funding out there for you to start your business. And I mean any business, you know, again, are they easy to get? Are they at your fingertips and you just grab it? No. You know, do you need research? Yes. Do you need a consultant, a coach? Yes. Do you need those
uh-huh,
kind of things? Yes. Do you have to can you just jump there and then? No. You have to go, we're talking about this in order. We talked about
mm-hmm,
paperwork and proper formation and everything. Now we're talking about funding. Once you have gotten all of those things done, then you start trying to secure your funding.
right,
After
right,
you have secured your funding, then you can continue to ask for more funding and so forth. But the funding is out there. You have government entities giving funding. You have
wow,
individuals giving funding. This is how
uh-huh,
I look at funding, Beth. Funding I don't care what I'm doing. I could be paying my MasterCard credit card bill. And before I even get that card, I need to know that they have a philanthropic arm to their company. So if I'm going to get a Discover card, I need to know that Discover does something. I don't care, even if it does not align with what I'm doing, but they have to be doing something for as far as humanitarian philanthropy work. And
Giving
most
back.
companies are, because the government requires them.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be giving. There's money out there for every single thing that we do, but how do we get it? And so most people, when they want you to, when they want to get funding, they think it's going to come overnight. No, patience is a virtue, and you have to practice patience. There's some grants out there that you might write for today. It's not like a loan. So the difference between a grant and a loan, the bank is going to give you a loan, because they're going to tap interest onto that loan, and you have to pay them back, or else they're coming to get whatever it is that you put down as collateral. Whereas a grant is money that they're giving that you don't pay back. So they're going to take their time to actually decide who they're going to give this free money to.
Right.
And if their work is worth giving it, if it aligns with what they are doing as a philanthropist.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And I love the way you said, is you look for those companies that give back, and they want to help. These are places that you patron that have this arm that they love to give back. And you taught that to me, is that's where you look for funding. That's where you look for support as well. The other thing is making sure you qualify to receive that. Could you speak to that? Because everybody doesn't receive those grants. Everybody doesn't get that funding, although it's there and available. Who are the ones that are successful?
Well, those who have something to show. For example, I cannot just go to them and say, you know what, I'm Henrietta, and 15,000 people know me personally and can write this letter on my behalf. That does not mean anything. These companies want to see on paper. They want to, if you're a for-profit company, they want to see what you've done. They want to see the proof that you can do what you say you can do. They want to see the proof that you are ready to do what you say you're going to do with this money. If you're a nonprofit, they want to see who's the community that you're serving, what is the need in that community, and what is going to be the outcome after they give you X amount of money. So there's a lot of different reasons. I know there's a few grants that I'm looking at currently for a young lady who she's a for-profit business, but I'm looking at it. But one of the grants I looked at said that she needed to have made $1 million last year. And I asked her, I said, well, did you make $1 million? She said, I need to ask my accountant. And in my head, I'm thinking, if you made $1 million, you would know.
Yeah.
Whether it came into your account as profit or what you would know if you made $1 million. And so these are some of the things that kind of hinder people like me, because if you don't have all of the information, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
You can't go make it up, because they want proof. They're going to ask you for bank accounts. They're going to ask you for an audit to be done on your account. These things are things that you just can't go and skip up and make things up. You have to have your ducks in order, because it's very important.
Wow. Awesome. I love it, because you're saying you can't make this stuff up. And I think sometimes I don't want to go back to COVID, because people start making stuff up.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know if they've caught up with some of the stories that I know personally, that I heard of people just making things up because money was being given out here and there and everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, you just really can't, you just can't just give up money like that,
Here's
without
the thing,
justification.
people would do it again. People would do it again if they had the chance. And I helped, I don't know, countless people during COVID. And there were people who came to me with Lord have mercy, I'm not trying to go too far in, but they came to me with documents that did not look proper to me. They came to me with documents and it was questionable to me. And I told them, I said, listen, I cannot sign my name on any line that I think may be in some type of turmoil tomorrow. And so I had to turn a lot of people away, and they just couldn't. Well, it's not fake. I said, well, to me, it looks fake. And so I don't want to deal with it.
And I
and
applaud
it looks
you.
fake because the person that you brought to me last time, ma'am or sir, had the same exact document. So now I don't want to work with this document. This is a traveling document that's traveled from one person to the next.
So somebody created it and passed it out to other people.
I am telling you
to use it. How about that? Oh my goodness! And that's why I like and I love about Georgia Christian Business Network, because we're people of integrity and we don't fudge because we don't have to. We understand that what I already said about Deuteronomy 8:18, that God has given us the power to get wealth, whether we got a grant or whatever, we maintain. Some of us, experienced some challenges during COVID, but the opportunity is, if it's God's vision, provision belongs to him. And then we have to abide by the law of the land. And God wouldn't have us to look for ways to circumvent the process, or to negate, or to represent him in a manner that is not of the utmost of excellence. Psalms 8 said, how excellent is his name. And we're representatives. We're representing him. We walking in the image of God. And what does that look like? That I'm passing a document just so I can falsely get it. Listen, when you earn out of that vein, you're gonna lose it. Easy come, easy go. Trust me. Awesome. Henrietta, what else is happening? How can people really hear from you and learn from you? We want to put this information out. You've got some things coming up that we want you to talk about as well.
Well, I have a virtual seminar coming up this Saturday on the 10th. I have 2 sessions. And I have availability in both sessions. They're going to be virtual. They're going to be on Zoom. And Beth has an amazing deal for all of our GCBN members that I'm going to let her speak on that. But the seminar is $40, and it is a virtual seminar, 2 sessions. We have a morning session and an afternoon session, which we're going to put all in the comments, the times and everything. And you can contact me. I don't know if I should just say it, or you're going to put it on the screen.
Yes,
Beth,
please say
okay,
it.
Well, my phone number and I am not the technology person, but my phone number is 404-259-0923. And my email address is nonprofit501c3@hotmail.com.
Okay. So I just want you to say that on air, so when people are listening to the replay, and if they're not looking at the notes, you could have it on air, but then you could also have it in the notes as well. The opportunity, I think, is that you have such a wealth of information, and I want to talk to you more about an opportunity for us to go back, because there are so many people that have a vision for nonprofit, and there would be a great opportunity for you to help with the preliminary, help them to, I think we lost her, help with the preliminary of, I think Henrietta would be real good for us to have her do workshops like she and I used to partner with pre-COVID years ago. To have an opportunity where you come in, you complete the paperwork that she instructs you on how to fill in the blanks to a certain point, which saves her time and reduces her fee when helping you to file for a nonprofit status. Also, any business documentation, if you're interested in whether or not you should be an S Corp or incorporated, or from that matter, we lost her, but here she comes. She also could help coach you in that. So I want to make certain that we partner with Henrietta in time to come to have those workshops again. Henrietta, we were just talking. I know we lost you for a second there. Thanks for coming back. About partnering with you from a GCBN standpoint in time to come, to have you facilitate the do-it-yourself piece again. And that reduces, you walk us through the opportunity to fill out the documentation ourselves, which reduces your time and reduces your costs, and then you take it from that to finish it up for us. And so I really want to bring you and I to the table so we can talk about doing those again. But in the interim, I want to encourage those of you to join this call on Saturday. It's a virtual call. It's only $40. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to glean from her up close and personal. And what GCBN wants to do for up to 5 people, give $10 off of your registration. How do you register for the event, Henrietta?
You have to go through me. You can send me an email, but I think phone call or text message would be the best opportunity at the moment.
Okay.
I was just saying how bad I was at technology, and then, but reaching me by phone is the best thing, and texting is the most easy, and so most people don't like that. But you can also email me, and I'll give that information again. My number is 404-259-0923, and my email address is profit501c3@hotmail.com. When you're putting that email address in, be very careful, because people tend to miss the 501c3 and they tend to put 501c. It sounds better, but it's wrong.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Contact me for registration and any questions. We do have group rates. But for GCBN, there's going to be a code that Beth has that you guys can use for you to get that percentage off that she's
awesome. $10 for the first 5 people that registers for this event, because we want you to win in business and in life, and we want to support you in this regard. And we believe in Henrietta and the great work that she's doing. That'd be a great opportunity for you to be able to join in and support her. We're supporting her, supporting you. So thank you so much, Henrietta. This is awesome. Okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity in just a second to close us out with a powerful point that you would have us to walk away and meditate on for business owners that are wanting to do it the right way. But right now, I want to share about some upcoming events at Georgia Christian Business Network as we continually purpose to put God back in business. Tomorrow, please come out to Wellness Wednesday at noon. Join us on Zoom. We're introducing our Fantastic Four. Yes, Pamela Bridgman Bartell and myself are welcoming to the Georgia Christian Business Network platform Jessica Banner and Christine Oswald. They are so powerful, and we're so pleased and honored and privileged to have them join us on our Wellness Wednesday platform. This opportunity is just amazing for Georgia Christian Business Network. We love Wellness Wednesday. We love how it follows Take Charge Tuesday, because as Henrietta said today, I mean, this stuff that God just confirmed, like the wealth in the mind. And then she went on to say, you are your business. And that's what we believe. And so we've got to look at the whole person. And Wellness Wednesday takes care of your emotional and mental stability as you operate your business. So it's equally as important to speak with a business guru, nonprofit guru, such as Henrietta, but to turn around and join us on the Wellness Wednesday platform. So tomorrow at noon, please join us. We're talking about fear for this entire month. Overcoming the fear of the unknown is part 1 tomorrow. So please, fear is a great hindrance to experiencing double. So it's important that you join us each Wednesday for the month of June. Okay, so what else is Take Charge Tuesday next week is Donna Franklin. I'm looking forward to having this corporate member to join the platform, and she's going to talk about the secret of the double, understanding our purpose in the marketplace. Woo-hoo-hoo. That should be great. And guess what? June 17th is our virtual golf clinic. Taylor Allen is going to join us. And I am so amazed how she takes a virtual platform and facilitates a golf clinic. But it is so awesome. But not only that, will you get the opportunity to meet some of our speakers? We're going to unveil the color of the GCBN God Golfing Girls 2023 8th annual conference. The colors for the weekend, our hats, I don't know if we're revealing bags and all of that, but we're revealing quite a bit of stuff for you. Meet some of the speakers, talk to some of the ones that have experienced it before, and find out why they believe you should attend and why they're coming back as well. We're so excited. Thank you so much for joining us today. Look at our website, gcbnetwork.com. Send us an email if you have any questions, info@gcbnetwork.com. But while you're out visiting our website, sign up as a member, as a sponsor. We're focused, determined, and intentional to put God back in business, and we need your help. So join up with us. Henrietta, it's been wonderful today. Thank you for joining us. What are some words for us to grow on?
You know, Beth, just before I say that, I just want to tell you all thank you. Thank you, GCBN, again. I look forward to everything that you guys do. But just to grow on it, on so that I can leave you guys with something. Don't let your dream die inside of you. And even if you think it's not a dream, don't let your passion die inside of you. Don't let something that you love to do or want to learn to love to do, don't let that go away because you think that you can't. Just know that you can, that the proper networks are out there for you to reach out to us. And you know what? You're going to be just fine. And I think and I believe that you can do it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. You know, you have just confirmed so much, Henrietta, today. That same platform that I spoke on, the Gift Center on Saturday morning, she played a short video of Miles Monroe. You guys look it up. And he was saying the exact thing that Henrietta just said to us. Don't let the vision die. He said the wealthiest place, because that was her theme, is in the graveyard. Because buried dreams, buried visions.
Yeah.
God has provided you the help and the assistance that you need. It's your responsibility to tap into it. We're even giving you $10 off. And Henrietta, if I'd like to do it for Georgia Christian Business Network members, or even those that are listening in today, and just note that they heard this and want to apply it to it. Or if you identify people and they haven't, our folks haven't signed up, we're going to support them. We've got $10 that we're taking off of that 40. That is only $30 for you to register. So that's an opportunity of helping you to glean this information. So there you go. Henrietta, it's been wonderful. I love it. This is awesome. You're amazing. We'll be in touch. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. Bianca, you're amazing. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting us here and also on Facebook. Okay, go be great. God has a plan. You're a part of that plan. The first part of yours is to show up. All right, take care. Bye-bye now.